I've been thinking a lot about what kind of wedding planner I want to be. I don't want to just be a regular wedding planner. I want to be a cool wedding planner. What does that mean exactly? There's nothing wrong with what you consider a regular wedding or a standard wedding. And I do love honoring traditions and cultural customs and things like that. But in this day and age, I feel like, especially with social media and content is such a priority for a lot of couples and people, really honing in on what makes the day so authentic to the couple is really important to me. So it's not just about white flowers and a 3-course meal or whatever it may be, but really leaning into the things that make the couple unique and telling their story in a unique and authentic way, sometimes unconventional and out of the norm. So the question is, what really sets me apart from other wedding planners? Because there's a lot of wedding planners in the LA area that have a lot of experience. It's definitely like a saturated market, but I do believe that there is enough business for everyone. So it's really just about finding my audience, just doing the work so that the couples that I want to work with find me. So I think the thing that really sets me apart is I have a background in experiential marketing, doing a lot of activations for brands like Nike, HBO, Google. That experience has really set me up for success with wedding planning because I chose to move into the wedding space from the brand space, which is not heard of very much. A lot of people kind of, want to do more brand work, especially having done social events. But for me, I think for weddings, I get to have more of a personal connection with clients. It's just a more enjoyable space for me. And that's why I wanted to do it, because I think in the brand world, things are just moving so quickly. You kind of lose sight of what you're working on or why you're working on it. And it's really just a marketing or sales push. And that just doesn't resonate with me anymore. Some of the things that I want to focus on with my approach to what I call unconventional wedding planning, and that's only because I encourage couples to just kind of throw standards out the window. And even if you're going to utilize traditions in your wedding, it's about how are you going to make them your own. Number one, the question I would ask couples is, how do you want to show up at your wedding? I know not everyone likes to be the center of attention, but there are other ways to show up at your wedding, whether it's in the decor or your dress or your suit or whatever attire that you're wearing. Maybe it's in the graphic design. Maybe it's the fact that you and your partner fell in love over food, so you're going to have more of like a mini night market set up instead of a sit-down dinner. There's a lot of ways that you can kind of make things a little bit more interesting. For example, I had a couple who didn't want to have a sit-down dinner or traditional wedding format. They really wanted to bring all their friends and family to really have a great party. And so they only invited about maybe 50 people to their house for a backyard ceremony. And then they moved everyone to another venue where it was like 150 people. And it was more of a party, a cocktail party vibe, where they had a setup of a bar and a jazz band in the beginning. And outside they had like taco stations and things like that. And they had their DJ friends play, and it was a big party in Venice. And I think we might have miffed some of the neighbors, but it was totally fine. We ended at 11, but it was definitely a party. And these are just some of the examples of weddings that we would love to plan, because they're just a little bit different. The couple was just being themselves, and honestly, it was definitely a little less expensive than if they were to do a whole standard wedding or traditional wedding with 150 people at a traditional venue, etc. Secondly, this is related to the first one. I like to encourage my clients to think about, what do I want to do, instead of what do people normally do? I think just with the tweak of that question, even if you are sticking to a traditional wedding format, there are things that you can do to make it a little bit different. The reason I want to push clients or couples to think a little bit outside the box is because why do we have to stick to the same things every day, right? I think it's about just pushing the envelope with where the industry is going as well. According to The Knot, 63% of couples really prioritize it, and they really want to find wedding vendors that help them highlight their love story. And a lot of times couples don't even know it's an option because they're just trying to please their family or parents or whatnot. I think it's really a privilege to be able to choose how you want to showcase your love. And then that's why I want to encourage clients and couples to just adjust their thinking a little bit or their approach. It's just something to think about. Lastly, as you all probably know by now, my husband John is my partner in the business, and he also is the DJ side of things. Fun fact, we actually met at a music festival a long time ago. So we both love music and fell in love over music. So music is very important to us and a very big part of our business. Ideally, we would have clients who really love music too. And a lot of times they find John on Instagram or SoundCloud or whatnot, and they really love his music. And then we end up all working together, me as the planner or coordinator, because they find him that way, or vice versa, where they hit me up for coordinating or planning, and then they end up hiring John because we just have the same taste in music. Music is just such a mover of emotions, and it really sets the tone for the evening. So I just wanted to highlight a few things about my approach to wedding planning as I'm really figuring out my identity as a wedding planner, because I think for you to succeed or for me to succeed as a business owner, I really need to understand or know what about myself I want to highlight to set myself apart. And I know I have the experience, I have the chops for being a planner, and I have full confidence in my abilities, but now it's really about really tightening up and evolving the way I do things, because I think it's all about improving and moving forward. So I'm really excited to stay on this journey with you. It's been really great actually last year, having worked on some non-traditional weddings. The clients just didn't want a standard wedding format. And I really loved that we somehow connected and they found me, whether it was through a referral or the knot or whatnot. Regardless of how they found me, I'm glad we connected, and I'm excited to just work on more of them. You know, one of my 2025 weddings, they don't really want a super traditional format either, and we're really trying to figure out what is going to really make it unique. And even though it is a sort of standard timeline, there are just certain things that they want to incorporate or omit or whatnot just to make the wedding feel like them. So it's really about getting to the heart of what your story is, and that's the fun part of what's coming. I hope you're enjoying your wedding planning journey so far. I'm not sure if you've started or if you've booked your venue, but I do have some steps laid out in my wedding planning journey playlist. Maybe you want to make sure you have the right mindset while planning. Maybe you're in the budgeting phase. I am running through just like the planning journey, and hopefully in the next 5 to 10 videos, I'll kind of have like a fuller, rounder picture of what that full journey looks like. But in the meantime, hope you enjoyed my approach to wedding planning, and I hope that gave you some ideas or just something to think about when it comes to planning your own day for you and your partner. Thank you for watching this video. I really, really appreciate you making it to here, and hopefully you subscribe for more content. Thank you.